Hello guys and welcome back to Premier League predictions. We are back predicting the top flight of English football, Sophie. There's still quite a lot to play for. That race for Champions League football is on fire. We could see another relegation confirmed this weekend, Sophie, and the title race, it's over, but it's not been secured yet by Liverpool. Set us a like target.
Let's go 3,300 likes again.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Come on. I think we've underperformed lately with the likes. We just need people watching to hit the thumbs up button. It doesn't take too much. Please do get involved. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you are subscribed as well. We're pushing towards 97,000 now, so that would be amazing. Hit the subscribe button. It only takes 2 seconds. So yeah, like, subscribe, and the scores from last time, Sophie, are there. Quite a lot to catch up on in the Premier League. Like I say, the Premier League games are flying thick and fast at us. Sophie's got some catching up to do still. Let's get into this week's prediction, Sophie. We start with Brentford versus Brighton. Two mid-table teams, would you say it's fair to say? Two teams that have climatised very well to the Premier League. I think Brighton you'd favour slightly more. They've gone on to do a bit more in the Premier League, of course. This season they are slightly higher in the table. I think Brentford are capable of beating Brighton, though. I don't think there's a lot in this. How do you see this? Yeah,
I'm struggling to separate the two, so I might just go down the middle, to be honest.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, like, do you know what? The amount of times I've probably predicted this fixture to finish a draw is probably laughable.
They're both good enough to win, and that's why I think they'll cancel each other out. That's my argument, anyway.
Brentford are an interesting one. They started the season really good at home, and then lately they've not been as good at home, but they've been better away.
Yeah.
Let's flip the script and not go with form and say Brentford are going to go back to winning ways at home.
Okay.
Just because I didn't want to go for a draw here. I'm going to go Brentford 2, Brighton 1, which might bring to an end Brighton's hopes of making the Champions League.
We're not too dissimilar. I'm just chucking in an extra goal. I'm going for Desmond on this one. I think there could be a couple of goals, so 2-2. I think they've both got enough going forwards, sometimes a little bit shaky at the back, so I think there could be a few goals. 2-2.
There you go. Yeah, I like that. We're kicking it off with goals.
Yeah, we are.
Get your goals predictions in the comments. The next one, Sophie, this is another difficult one to separate. It's Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth, Sophie, 1-0 winners on the Monday night, beating Fulham. Semenyo scored after 30 seconds, and then there was no more goals.
Saw it out 1-0.
Crystal Palace, Sophie, raced into a 2-goal lead against Manchester City on Saturday at lunchtime, and then they lost 5-2. I think Palace have been impressive lately. I'm just wondering, will that be a bit of a setback? It's got to be, hasn't it? But they're more than capable of turning up here and winning. I think Bournemouth are more than capable of winning this as well. This is a really difficult one. I think this time I am going to have to go for a draw. Let's go Bournemouth 1, Palace 1. Yeah,
I'm thinking 1-1 as well, to be honest. It's really, really hard to predict. Like, do you read into the last games a little bit too much and think, well, Bournemouth won theirs, they didn't concede. Palace conceded 5. Obviously Bournemouth are going to win, but I do like Palace. I do think they're a good side, so if they turn up I think it could end a draw. 1-1 for me.
1-1, there you go, we're going the same. Let us know your thoughts on that game at Selhurst Park. Right then, Sophie, the next game is at Goodison Park as Everton take on Manchester City. This one looks very tasty. So Manchester City are locked up in that very fierce race for Champions League football. They currently sit in the top 5 because Chelsea were the team to slip up over the weekend, and Man City, as we touched on, beat Palace 5-2. Everton, though, Sophie, Everton are a real nightmare for everyone. Giving Liverpool a good game, they could have got something there. They took a point off Arsenal, took all 3 points off Forest with a last-minute goal. We could come on to Forest later, where it was preventable, the goal itself. Murillo makes a mistake, but I thought Everton were the better team. And I have seen footage of the Everton fans in the away end at the City ground, and very impressive.
They're good fans, aren't they?
Yeah, Everton fans are very good. They're ending the season on a high. You know, only a couple games left at Goodison Park. I want them to go out with a bang. And do you know what? They're such a big club historically. Wouldn't it be great if David Moyes can get them back in the top half?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go first with my prediction on this one because I think it's going to shock you. Everton 2-1. I fancy them to beat Man City because they've been putting in some really good performances. I don't back them enough. Man City are obviously a very, very good team. We've seen that over the years, but then they've come into better form as well, where a lot of people go, nah, they'll beat Everton. Nah, not David Moyes' Everton. I fancy them to do it this weekend. 2-1.
2-1 Everton?
Yeah.
2-1 Everton?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 3-2 Everton.
Oh, you're backing them as well?
Let's spice it up. Yeah,
oh,
do you know
that's
what?
the kiss of death now.
But you know what? They've been great though, haven't they? Let's reward them. I know Manchester City on paper, looking at the table, have got more to play for.
Yeah.
Let's be wild. Everton have been great. Trust in David Moyes.
Yeah.
He will deliver the goods. Let us know your thoughts down below. Like I say, Man City, great win last time, but not sure if you can trust them sometimes.
No, exactly.
Not been on the same levels this season, have they? The next game, Sophie, is between West Ham United and relegated Southampton. West Ham, obviously, safe. They're in 17th position. There's not a lot between those teams in 14th and 17th. So if West Ham can finish with a couple more wins, they could get towards mid-table. What would be interesting, Sophie, is Tottenham could still finish down in 17th.
Yeah,
that would be good. That's really
dreadful.
bad. Yeah. Southampton are relegated. They're nailed on to finish 20th. 3-0 defeat to Villa last time, despite Ramsdale saving 2 penalties. Let's go for some goals. West Ham 3, Southampton 1.
See, I was tempted to say that, but I might go for the same deficit and say 2-0 West Ham. I wonder if Southampton now will be like, oh, should we chuck everything at it or just look forward to next season? Because they've been very poor all season, to be honest. West Ham haven't been miles better, especially at the beginning of the season. I thought they had a good summer transfer window, some of the players they brought in. I thought they'd be finishing a lot higher than where they are currently, which they still might finish a little bit higher. And I do fancy them to get the 3 points here, but it should be a really convincing game. It's just whether they make it that convincing. So for me, 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, both backing them with a pretty comfortable win.
Yes, yeah.
You do worry that Southampton are on autopilot and West Ham could run them ragged if they wanted to. Yeah, a bit of a concern. I think Southampton fans just want to see the back of this season.
Yeah.
They still haven't got past Derby's record though.
No, I know, that is the concern though, isn't it?
Oh, God. Right, Sophie, the next game. This is huge. Maybe one of the biggest games this weekend. Aston Villa versus Newcastle. Absolutely massive because... Have you seen the Champions League race? I did a video on it on Monday, guys. Check it out if you haven't already. It's fascinating. Forest, Newcastle, Chelsea, Man City, Villa. Even Fulham are not that far behind, technically, but there's so little to separate those teams going for Champions League football. Speaking of Champions League football, Sophie, we need to talk about Villa's performance on Tuesday.
Such a good game.
It wasn't enough. They lost 5-4 on aggregate after winning 3-2. I tell you what, Sophie, I thought they were very good. I actually predicted they'd win on the night, but it wouldn't be enough. I said they'd win 2-1. They came back from 2-0 down on the night as well. I mean, let's just give a mention of some credit to their performance. Yeah,
it's just annoying that they waited to really start playing when they were 2-0 down, because after that they were just so good. And I think ultimately Emery got it wrong, taking off Rashford when he was actually playing some really good football, linking up, creating chances, creating goals. So I thought him coming off, you think, that wasn't the right call for me. Either way, it was a great performance. To watch as a neutral, it was a great game. Weirdly found myself almost rooting for Villa at certain points, which felt dirty as a commentary fan. But yeah, it was just a really good game. So seeing their fans as well, when you thought, the comeback's on, you see the limbs, it was great to see. But just, quite unfortunate to then lose out.
Yeah, I personally just want the English teams to do well when it comes to Europe. And the British teams, I'd quite like to see Celtic and Rangers do well. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. I will agree with you, by the way. Emery maybe could have made subs a bit earlier. I'll tell you what I thought was bad. 3 added minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Where did that come from? It should have been about 10.
Yeah.
Don't know what that was about. Anyway, let's talk about Newcastle, Sophie. Newcastle come into this on the back of winning against Crystal Palace on Wednesday night. They're doing really well at the minute.
Yeah.
Before that, of course, they beat Manchester United at the weekend. This is a huge game for both teams. The pressure's on Villa because they've got the home advantage and they've got the catching up to do in this Champions League race. I think they could definitely make it, but you feel like they've got to win. I think they've got Man City next as well. Some big games coming for Villa. I'm going to go for a draw.
Okay.
1-1. I think these two are very good. They've both played in midweek, and they might have lost a bit of energy coming into this. They might be a little bit sluggish, maybe, but I still think it'd be a good game. Yeah,
possibly. So then it makes you think, could it be a low-scoring one? Because are they not going to attack as much as they would? But they're both quite attacking teams, so it's really hard to predict. Do you know, I actually fancy Newcastle slightly more. I'm going to back them to win 2-1.
Yeah, do you know what?
I think it'd be close though, close game.
They have been in good form. They're capable of good results, so that might be a really decisive result in the Champions League race. Let us know your thoughts. The next one, Sophie, is a West London derby as Fulham take on stuttering Chelsea. Fulham obviously lost 1-0 to Bournemouth, as we touched on earlier, conceding in the first minute, and then that's how it stayed. Chelsea, though, 2-2 with Ipswich.
They hate playing Ipswich.
They do. They've lost and drawn to them this season. I mean, credit to them. Good comeback. Great goal from Sancho.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, if they keep performing like that, they're not going to make the Champions League. They have to win this game. I think Fulham are a good team, though, and I don't think it'll be easy. I'm actually going to go for another draw for Chelsea.
I'm going to as well.
1-1.
Yeah, I'm going for the exact same. I do feel like Chelsea need to win this one, but it's whether they're going to play like that I don't know. It almost seems like it takes them to go behind in games to start playing and try and get something from it, but that's never a good way to play. Fulham, they're not a bad team at all. I know they're coming into this on the back of a defeat, but I still do rate them. I think they'll cancel each other out 1-1.
1-1. Yeah, let us know your thoughts down below. The next game, Sophie, sees Ipswich Town take on Arsenal. Ipswich, Sophie, are on the verge of relegation just because... I mean, they haven't even been that bad lately, but Wolves have been so good, they've just been leaving them behind. It is frustrating not to get all 3 points when you were 2-0 up at Chelsea, but still a point. It's just there's just such a big gap between the teams that come up and the teams that are already there. We've done this discussion before with Benjamin Bloom about the glass ceilings and the football landscape. It's dominated by money, and I don't fancy Ipswich here, I'm afraid. Arsenal, of course, are through to the Champions League semi-finals. They knocked Real Madrid out. Arsenal are going to win for me. Ipswich 1, Arsenal 3.
Yeah, I fancy Ipswich to get a goal as well, but I'm going to say Arsenal 2-1. Obviously, they've had less rest than Ipswich, but I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference, to be honest. I do think that they've got the quality to see it over the line, but I do fancy Ipswich to at least have some fight about them, because we have seen that. They're not just going down and just taking their beatings. They've got it really hard, because as you said, Wolves just keep plugging in the points and that gap's forming, and they're adding a point, but it's not enough. They need all 3. But this is a very, very difficult game against Arsenal, so Arsenal 2-1.
Arsenal 2-1. Yeah, we're both backing them, and it pushes Ipswich towards the edge. Yeah, let us know your thoughts. The next game, Sophie, is at Old Trafford. Manchester United take on Wolves. Wolves, we've touched on, they've been having a great resurgence lately. They could finish ahead of Manchester United, and I think they're capable of winning this game. But let's talk about Manchester United, Sophie. Battered by Newcastle last time in the Premier League. They are playing tonight on Thursday, the day of recording this, for the Premier League predictions, and I think Man United are going to beat Lyon, but we will see. I'm not sure what bearing it'll have on this game, though. I think Man United have got more to play for in the Europa League than they do in the Premier League.
That's obvious as well. You know, like Amorim's interviews, he's just talking about the Europa a lot. It's like, well, you are in the Premier League as well.
Yeah, it's the same for Tottenham, though, with Ange.
True.
I don't think Wolves are going to lose. They could win, but I will go for a draw. Maybe Man United can get 2 as well, but I think Wolves are capable of getting 2 because of the goalkeeping crisis.
Yeah.
2-2.
2-1 Wolves for me. I fancy them to get another 3 points. They're just plugging in the points. They've got a comfortable gap now between them and Ipswich, but doesn't mean they're going to take the foot off the gas, and I don't think they will, especially against Man United, where they don't have that fear factor anymore. In fact, I think a lot of teams will turn up and think, get 3 points here, and I think Wolves are going to do just that.
Yeah.
2-1.
2-1. Yeah, they've been very impressive. Very good against Tottenham last week, I must say.
Yeah.
Next up, Sophie, we could see a relegation at the King Power as Leicester City take on Liverpool. It is possible Leicester City could be relegated before this game if Wolves and West Ham win beforehand. Leicester have to win. If they don't win, they're down. They're down anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they take on Liverpool, who are not mathematically Premier League champions yet, but we know that they are. So... do you know what? It was a good fight from Leicester against Brighton.
It was. They scored 2 as well.
They scored a goal.
Yeah.
Fair play to them.
2.
Liverpool 2-1 winners against West Ham at the weekend. I think it's going to be more comfortable this time. Sorry, Leicester. 3-0.
Yeah, 2-0 Liverpool, to be honest. I did think Leicester actually put up some fight against Brighton, and that's what I've been critical, like last few videos. I've said Leicester aren't fighting. The other relegation teams, at least even Southampton, they've been showing more fight than Leicester. So for them to actually show some fight and get a point against Brighton, I thought that was something. This one, however, I don't know, Liverpool, they're going to want to become champions as soon as possible. I don't think there's masses of pressure on them though. I think they'll be the ones to relegate Leicester, to be honest. 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, both back in Liverpool to bring Leicester's, well, I don't want to say Leicester's fun to an end, it's Leicester's pain to an end.
They might be starting the fun next season though, because I think they'll do alright.
Put Leicester out there suffering, do the right thing, Liverpool. Right, on to the next game, Sophie. Nottingham Forest travel to Tottenham Hotspur. As I just touched on with Manchester United, the same is going to be applied to Tottenham, Sophie. Everything is on the Europa League. If they lose on Thursday, which is possible, to Eintracht Frankfurt, then Ange might not be in a job by this game on Monday. He has to win the Europa League to save their season. Even if they do beat Eintracht Frankfurt, I don't know what bearing it has on this, because they still don't have a lot to play for in the Premier League other than...
just finish as high as possible. Well, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, don't finish 17th, because that's not a good look. Forest though, Sophie, they need the points. They lost to Everton last time. They didn't just lose it in the last minute, but I thought the performance was really poor. I've done the maths, 6 games to go. I think 3 wins will be enough, and I think they're going to get one here. I'm going to back Forest 2-1.
1-0 Forest. I just can't go for Spurs in the Premier League at the moment. Like, some of the performances they've been putting in is just so below par. And then you can say Nottingham Forest have fallen off a little bit. Like, by the standards they'd set, they have kind of drifted downwards slightly. But I think they're going to plug in another 3 points this weekend. 1-0. 1-0.
It would be vital. Forest fans, are you getting nervous? Because you can almost taste the Champions League football, but there's still some way to go. The final game, Sophie, is a midweek one that we're quickly going to do. Man City take on Villa. We will be back with Premier League predictions the day after this game, I believe. A massive game, Sophie, in the Champions League race. Man City need points. Villa need points. Maybe just going to go with home advantage. 2-1.
Do you know what? I might say a draw. 2-2. I think there could be a few goals in this one. I like both teams' attacks, to be honest, so I think there could be a few goals, but yeah, when you're so desperate for points, you think, oh, could it maybe end a draw? I can see why you've gone for the home side, but I think Villa have got enough to at least get a point, so 2-2.
There you go. Share your thoughts on that one down below in the comments. A massive game in midweek in the race for Champions League football. And there you go, guys. That wraps up our Premier League predictions. Let us know yours down in the comments. Thank you for all your great support. Make sure you have hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well. It only takes 2 seconds, so go on, get involved. Let's push towards 97,000 subscribers now. And thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
We will see you in the next one, Sophie. Take care, everyone, and peace out.